After I got on the shitty boat.
Joe, can I say something to you, Joe? Joe, do you do us a wee favour, will you? And I've never said this to anybody. For fuck's sake, would you mention me in your fucking chat at some stage? Say you can call me a cunt, you can call me whatever the fuck you want, but just mention Shay the dog, man, will you?
Yeah, man.
C-H-E, shit. Because I can tell you now, mate, I'm the most boring, honest, funniest cunt you will ever come across in your life.
Yeah, man, no problem. You know, you said you got stabbed 32 times. So
yes,
how did that happen, and how the hell did you survive? Where am I looking?
I tell you what happened, mate. I'm an Irish Catholic. I was wearing an Ireland shirt, an excellent football shirt, a rugby shirt. Sorry, and there's more problems played for the Irish football team than as Catholic.
I also wore. Blade was small, but like 30.
Let me finish, John. You asked a question. I'm going to explain it. Not going it. That's the God's truth. I don't want to have to do it again. I was with my son, who is now 24. I took him camping in one of the most beautiful parts of Ireland, in the north. Beautiful. I'm not going to say where. It's actually all over Google and in the papers. It's everywhere. Before I knew it, I woke up in hospital the next day. The last thing I remember is being called a Fenian bastard. That means you're dirty Catholic Irish scum. That's what that means.
Okay.
It was a fella and a girl, boyfriend and girlfriend, who were drunk out of their heads, who weren't even camping, but they decided to walk through the camp. How they get in, I don't know. The people in the next tent to me was a British soldier and his family and his beagle dogs. The next tent to me was Filipino nurses. The tent after that was a family from England somewhere, I'm not sure, and a few other English and Scottish and Welsh families. It was done while the Game of Thrones was being made in the very spot, and people from the Game of Thrones were there when it happened.
You got stabbed while the game. So what's you being stabbed got to do with the Game of Thrones?
Because where I get stabbed is about 20 feet from the actual fucking movie was made. That's where
really?
I am.
Mad.
Yes, Dan, I'm telling you a fucking lie. I'm telling you a lie. Jesus Christ. Do you think I'm going to come on here and tell the whole fucking of YouTube about being stabbed 32 times and make up a fucking lie? Well, I will say
no. If you're saying you got stabbed close to where Game of Thrones got filmed, that's mad. I said carry on.
I get stabbed in one of the most beautiful parts of this world long before the Game of Thrones even existed. The Game of Thrones is only a movie. It's a fantasy movie. Did I meet anybody else?
Was that because you had a top on?
That's because I wore an Ireland a rugby shirt. I'm also an Ireland football supporter. I'm also a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. And also Glasgow Celtic is in my DNA. And that's the God's truth. I hate no one. I despise quite a few.
I'm quite.
Do you have politics? Do I have politics? My politics is far away from. I'm a socialist, an absolute socialist. I'm for the people. Always have been for the people. I'll tell you now. Me and Exposure are going to be. I'm going to meet up with him in Liverpool. We're going to have a good chat. We're going to have a cup of tea. He's not going to record anything, but he's going to hear bits and pieces about me, and he'll be talking to me in person. He'll also meet my partner. He knows who my partner's uncle is. It's their verified international selling best trader, hunger striker, friend of Bobby Sands. Everything is all true. Everything about me is true. I'm a cunt. I can be most born.
Was he in one of the blanket boys? Was he?
He was on hunger strike with Bobby Sands. He was his name. Listen, if you watch, I don't know if you like him or hate him. I don't particularly like him. If you watch James English, if you watch Sam Miller.
Yeah, Sam Miller. Sam Miller said, I'm in contact with Sam Miller to do a
listen,
podcast.
Sam Miller is my partner's, my future wife's godfather, also her uncle.
Well, that's mad, because I've been speaking to Sam Miller to do a podcast. I might have to go over to the island to do it because I watched the James English one. His story is crazy.
I'm going to tell you nothing. I know who Sam is. I know I'm with his goddaughter. Listen, I'm not going to say any more. I can't say anything about them. All I can tell you is what he is.
Right, people, I'm back. Can you hear me all right?
Exposure.
He went over to
Exposure.
America, didn't he, after he got out of there and done like
Yes, young man, I've been hearing on the telly while I was charging the phone. I've got this phone plugged in now, so I'm going to try now. So I'm on back on.
You should have a professional studio, but you're an absolute bollock. You know that. You should have some kind of studio.
Young man, both of the phones have been dead. So, and I don't normally always have two phones on during the lab. Normally I'll have one on charge and then use one, and then if that charge, I'll switch over. It's not like an hour or two in. And but on this occasion, we have both phones, batteries dead.
Joe was just talking about Sam Miller.
Yeah, he was talking about Sam. Yeah. We were talking about he was on James English podcast. If anyone hasn't seen that, it's on James English.
Well,
Sam Miller.
I don't have to, Joe, listen to me. I'm getting married to his goddaughter, his niece.
I can put this on now.
She's also nearly 10 years younger than me. She's beautiful, she's talented, she's fantastic, she's fucking amazing. I can't tell you anything about Sam Miller. What I can do is I can speak to Donna and say, do you know something? Listen.
See, this is playing up again.
I'm listening.
It's listen, Joe, I don't tell lies. I don't need to tell lies. I just want to tell everything. There you go.
Hey, hasn't any of the mods got the StreamYard? Has anyone got the StreamYard link to put in the chat there? Because someone knows reason when I'm pressing it. Oh yeah, it's letting me do it now.
Yeah, it's right. Sam Miller. I spoke to him on the phone, and he said he'd do a podcast, so I'd go over there, because when I see him on James English, because like I'm intrigued about the H-Blocks and the Blanket Boys when they done the Youngest Strike, and then when he went over to America and then done the robbery thing in America, it's a crazy story.
Listen, when you say the robbery thing, I can actually say this. He robbed $8 million cash.
Yeah,
it's actually the biggest in the history of America at the time. It's still the most talked about cash robbery of all time, even though it's probably 50 or 60 million.
Yeah, it's a mad story. I definitely want to get him on the podcast.
You know what it is? It's a true story of an ordinary guy who loves his family, absolutely loves his family. As for his politics and stuff, you'd have to ask him. Do I know it? I absolutely do know it. Do I know the man? I know the man as well as you know him. There you go. All right? Yeah. That's all I can say about him. I know him as well as you know him.
Yeah, well, as I say, I spoke to him and he said he'd come on, but I